You are watching
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. Hey, welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Christopher. The show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. And what we're talking about today is building a winning real estate team. How do you put that together? How do you get it to a point to where you could build something bigger than yourself? How do you treat this career path like a business? Because here's a little secret. It is a business. Even if you do get some sort of base pay, some sort of salary or hourly wage, which isn't typical in real estate, you're usually just an independent contractor that works on commission only. But even if you do get some sort of base pay, you should still be treating it like a business. But especially if there's not, then absolutely, this is a business that you're running. And that's probably why you got into real estate, not because you wanted another job, but you wanted something that you could build into this thing that people call a business. And what makes it a business? Maybe you're brand new to real estate. Maybe you don't even have your real estate license yet. Maybe you're thinking about starting a real estate career. And maybe someday down the road, you're thinking, maybe I do want to have a real estate team. You maybe see some successful people in real estate having real estate teams. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Even when you're brand new, starting on day one, you have a team. So, here's you as the agent. And this is just regular practicing real estate. This isn't anything that you're doing to build a quote-unquote real estate team here, but I just want to share with you how already, right from day one, you might have a real estate team, and then we'll get into a little bit more advanced stuff about, trying to flesh this out and get started with this. But if you're just getting started brand new to real estate, you have a team because you're not allowed to operate legally in Florida without a broker. And that broker probably has support staff. That broker might also have trainers and coaches. Trainers, coaches, mentors. But you've got even more on your team because most transactions are not going to be paid cash. They'll involve some sort of lender. And I really shouldn't say a lender. I should say a mortgage broker. Because that's more so the person that we're dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Mortgage broker, mortgage loan originator. There's also the title agent. They're part of the team to get the transaction done. You have the inspectors, the appraiser. Sometimes you might involve some sort of attorney in a transaction. A lot of brokerages will have some sort of preferred vendor for pretty much all of these, and a good brokerage should. On top of that, maybe this is a listing. Maybe you have a listing photography company. And I really shouldn't even just call it photography because just photos, that's not how you go above and beyond in real estate in this day and age. Anybody can take a photo with their cell phone. That's not going to make something look exceptional. So this is, before you even build a quote-unquote real estate team, this is your team. Maybe you even have a transaction coordinator. And again, there could be even more than this. If you're hiring some sort of company to help you generate leads, whether that be something as simple as Zillow or maybe a marketing agency or a friend of yours or whoever it is, whether this is some organization or an individual, you might have a marketing team. What resources do you have? You probably already have the legal hotline, so going over here, the Florida Realtor Legal Hotline. You join the Florida Association of Realtors, you get access to that Florida Realtor Legal Hotline. So what you ultimately need to realize is you already have a team, unless you're not doing real estate. Because if you're not doing any real estate transactions, if you haven't sold anything yet, or maybe haven't joined a broker that might help you put these pieces of the puzzle together here, then no, you might not have a team. But when you're associated with a broker, and especially when that broker has a lot of this stuff figured out for you, and then as you start to do transactions, you start to build your business more, even though you might not have another real estate agent that you're actually working with, another licensee that you're working with, you've got all this right here. And this is what you need to be good at managing in order to make yourself more effective. You know, probably one of the first things you might need as a real estate agent, as you're starting to really build a team that's just bigger than kind of what you'd probably already have access to, maybe through your broker or just through regular practice in real estate, through these affiliated, associated types of companies and entities that are all there to make money off the transaction. And if you guys have taken one of my pre-licensing classes, or maybe even post-licensing, I always bring this up whenever I do a pre-licensing class, is as a real estate agent, a lot of people are confused with what it is exactly that we do. Because this is us here, the agent, the real estate agent. So what is it that we actually do? Well, I mean, there's some technical things like negotiating the contract and maybe writing the listing description or any of those types of things. However, there's a lot that we do to oversee all these different pieces of the puzzle. And what I always tell people is, as a real estate agent, you want to think of yourself as the CEO of the transaction. You might not know how to do every little detail and every little thing. You might not be the mortgage broker. You might not be the attorney. You might not be the title agent. You might not be your broker. You might not be the transaction coordinator or your marketing team or the trainer, your coach, your mentor, whoever it might be. It might not be the sports staff. You might not be your photography company. You might not be the inspector. You might not be the appraiser. My point is, all of these experts are very likely to have greater expertise than you, almost guaranteed to have greater expertise than you in these individual areas. It's not always the case, believe it or not, but most of the time when someone is licensed or somehow certified in these positions, there's that. I mean, you guys know, if you've already taken the real estate course, of what that takes to go through this year. And that might not make you an exceptional top producing real estate agent, but you absolutely know the law of what you can and cannot do. And as you continue to grow and build and develop yourself, you become more of an expert as you train more, as you do more, as you become more. But getting outside of this zone here, when you're ready to start building a team that's more than just these affiliated vendors and companies that you might be working with, that's helping you just do real estate as just one single person, the first thing that you'll probably want to do is get some sort of assistant. I don't even know where we'd fit this in. There's a lot of people getting involved. So this is your whole team, again, before you even have a team. This is the people that are all there, who are all there to help you get the transaction done to some degree, because to some degree they're also being compensated off of this transaction. So not only do they usually want to help you get business to a certain degree, they usually want to help you get business done. But the first hire I would make, this is usually going to be what most real estate professionals need in their real estate career, to start doing things more than themselves, bigger than themselves, to make themselves more efficient, to make themselves more productive, and ultimately to help fulfill your shortcomings. We all have shortcomings. We're all not a perfect, 100% well-rounded individual. And if you are, I would venture to say you're maybe holding back on something. Something that you could really truly be great and exceptional at if you just seem to be good at everything. There's got to be something in there that's just waiting to burst out, because we all have that thing, at least one thing that we're really good at. Maybe that's communicating with people. Maybe that's the contracts. Maybe that's the negotiation. Maybe that's the marketing. Whatever it may be, we want to lean in to what we're good at. And the things that we're not the best at, that's where we seek out help. Now, as you continue to grow your business, and as you're continuing to wearing all these hats in all these different cases of helping all these legs of the deal keep the whole thing together, making sure none of these people are going off, veering off in other directions and the deal falls apart. We're trying to make sure we could hold this together because, again, we're the last person to get paid out of all this here. We usually have the biggest payday, but we usually get paid last because we're usually not paid until the property closes. And almost everybody on here gets paid before we do. And so ultimately, you want to treat this as a business that is predictable, that can be steady. And look, steady doesn't just mean like this. Steady could be like this, but it means that it's predictable, that you could count on the growth. Not that you're crossing your fingers and hoping you get a deal closed this month, but that you know you're going to get at least X amount of deals closed this month. So look, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we'll be talking more about building a winning real estate team. Again, getting beyond just an assistant. Now that is not the start of your team. Again, the start of your team is you just, as soon as you're practicing real estate, all these individuals and companies and organizations that you'll be working with to help you do real estate. That's your team to start out with. But you're going to expand upon that as you want to grow your real estate business. And again, a great place to start is with an assistant. But then what about buyer's agents? What about seller's agents? How do you structure? What about if they're bringing their own leads? What if you provide the leads? How is it that you set this up? How do you maintain the culture? Can you enforce rules with people when they're an independent contract? There's a lot of questions. I don't know if we'll be able to answer them all on today's show, but if you have any, let us know in the chat. My name is John Chris. We're going to take a quick commercial break. You're watching State of Real Estate. Have you completed your post-licensing education yet? Look, I know you're probably thinking, hey, it's not my renewal deadline. I don't need to do post-licensing yet. But look, here's why you want to do post-licensing as soon as you've got your real estate license, as soon as you're able to take post-licensing. It's not just another course about arbitrary laws that you're never going to use again. It's about real-world, usable topics that'll help you grow your real estate business, to help you take it to the next level. Look, let me ask you this one question. If this course helps you close just one deal, if you get one extra deal from post-licensing, is it worth the investment? I'd say it is. We get paid pretty well, so one deal means a lot of money. Check out postflorida.com. That's postflorida.com for the full details about post-licensing. State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. And welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Chrismo, and this show is brought to you by the Tampa School of Real Estate. We're here every single Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time to help you guys understand how to mastermind and grow your real estate business here. So what we're covering today is your real estate team. And if you're in real estate, you already have a team. That's all these people that you have around you. But you're now probably trying to build more than just that. So rather than all the people it is that you're potentially working with, how is it that you structure yourself as a team leader? Because it's going to be the leader who builds the winning team. It's the leader that brings these people together. It's the leader that inspires the collective group action towards a shared objective that's going to benefit all parties involved. It's the team leader that's putting that together. So kind of like you're already doing, just like that previous drawing I had up here of you working with all these different parts of the deal. That's you having a real estate team and you assembling these pieces of the puzzle. Now, you only need one lender. Well, if one falls through, maybe you need a backup. But at the end of the day, you only need one lender in the transaction. You don't need 20 lenders. You don't need 20 mortgage brokers. You need one of those. And then you need a title company and inspectors and appraisers. Not just a bunch of title companies, not just a bunch of inspectors. So that same concept of that you want to have the right person for the right job. think of building a house, or maybe you've made some sort of repairs before. One of the things that always drives me crazy are flathead screwdrivers. And not so much the screwdriver. The screwdriver is great for prying stuff or whatever you need to use that screwdriver for, but the actual screws that you use with that screwdriver. Why? Why is that necessary? I'm sure there's some sort of reason, but is it really necessary to have two screws that ultimately accomplish the same thing with just a different fastener, with a different way to screw them in? So now we need two different tools, the Phillips head and the flatheads? Maybe eventually when you've got just an extensive amount of tools, you're like, well, why not we just add in another one here? We'll call this one the flathead. And Philip, you made up that one, so we're going to call this one the Phillips head. And then we're going to make some star-shaped ones. We're going to make all kinds of different shapes, so that way you never have the right tool that you need to get the job done. That's not how you want to run your real estate team. So what you've got to do first and foremost, before you're even close to having a real estate team, you want to have assembled together in your mind, and first in your mind and then on paper, of what that team is going to look like. And starting to piece this together and how it is that you could structure this. Because again, ultimately, as the team leader, what your job is to ultimately be the ultimate facilitator of the shared vision. So how do you create a shared vision? Well, you got to find something that you could rally people behind. What is it that you're ultimately doing? Yeah, making money is great, making a ton of money. Maybe that's the angle. Again, this is your team, so maybe it is just about the money. Or maybe it's about the community. Maybe it's about the outreach. Maybe it's about the greater good, and all while still also being about money. Because don't make the mistake of putting anything else as a priority in terms of money. And now I know that might sound bad, but at the end of the day, this isn't a hobby. This isn't a community outreach charitable program. Or at least not for most people. You can have a nonprofit brokerage, however, most brokerages are for profit. Most real estate agents are for profit. This is how most people in real estate make their living, is through selling real estate. And there's a lot of costs, there's a lot of expenses that are necessary. So regardless of how you feel about money, money is going to be an important piece to this puzzle here, and do not discount that. Try not to discount in the real world. Try to always, again, come in with the full value. Again, we're not going to get in detail on that because you could structure your business with a lot of different angles and a lot of different ways. But however it is that you're going about it, whatever it is that shared vision is, you need to get clear about it. You need to get concise about it. You need to be able to spell it out, to speak to it. So not just you understands it, because if you're the only one with the map, and no one else has the map, no one else knows what the map looks like, no one else even knows what direction we're supposed to be going in, they're just trusting with you with that map up there that you're looking at it and you're guiding everyone in the same direction, that's not having a shared vision. The shared vision is, this is the map, this is what we need to do, this is our plan of attack, this is how we're going to go about it, are you with me? That's the part of creating a shared vision. Something that people could get behind. And not everyone will get behind your vision. Just like I was saying earlier, I'm very big in terms of whenever I'm negotiating, I always like to go above and beyond in value before I ever discount a price. Just because I know there's so much value that I could provide, and there's tons of people out there that would be willing to do it for less. And if we're going to compete with them and who's willing to do it for less, we're going to be in a race to the bottom to earning smaller and smaller bits of commission, which, yeah, maybe you do enough deals, it makes money. And again, there's tons of agents that structure their business that way, as low cost, discount, low service typically, because that's how you afford to be able to do the low cost, is you typically have to scale back the level of service that you provide. Myself, my preference, my philosophy is more about the go above and beyond, because I want to wow people and impress people, and that costs money to do. And that's why, again, I'm more about going above and beyond in the value. And making the price absolutely a secondary thing if something that we negotiate at all. But to each their own. But whatever that vision is, and not even just something as specific as a philosophy about commissions or pricing or anything like that, but if you want to be $1 million real estate agent and you've got a team full of people that are content just being average real estate agents, are they helping you get to that $1 million goal, or are they holding you back? Not to sound bad, but are they potentially dead weight if that is what your shared vision is? And that's something, especially when you're starting out as a real estate team, that when you're first trying to get things going and get things off the ground, that's going to be when you're in the most fragile position. And so it's really important that you have the confidence in not just yourself, but and if you're a team within a brokerage, of course, on the larger brokerage organization it is that you're a part of, but then also on what it is that your team's core values, culture, marketing perspectives, again, that shared vision. And you get clear about that, and people are knowing what it is that they're getting themselves into. And when they understand that, not only are they going to be more comfortable, but they could be more effective. How does that happen? Well, when they're more comfortable, their mind is more at ease, so they're more willing and able to not just take in the information, but feel confident in being part of it. And so it'll help people accelerate so much faster, whereas if they're still trying to figure out if they fit in, because we're not sure if everyone's on the same page of what we're all doing here together, that's going to cause friction amongst your team. And, as much as this could be a little bit of a debatable topic, but all teams need to be able to work in some level of harmony. Now, back when I was little, I studied music a bunch, and one of the things that I learned is that harmony doesn't always have to sound good. There's a lot of music that I'm sure you're probably familiar with that might be in perfect harmony, might be in perfect key, but you might not like the music. It might not be harmonious, while it may be harmonious to other people. And a big part of gaining this harmony is having the shared vision. And not just of where it is we're all trying to go, but how is it that you as the team leader are going to help your teammates get to that position? How is it that you're going to work together to accomplish these objectives? And will you be able to do that in harmony to some degree? Now, you don't need to be holding hands, singing Kumbaya, but you need to be able to work together. I don't know, if you've got a better word than harmony for that, then go for it. But that's going to be an important piece of this puzzle. And the thing about real estate as well is it's kind of easy to walk away. And I say kind of because it's not ultimately, you change your mind, you can go switch brokers and all your deals come with you. Again, there's a bunch of strings attached and all the other stuff if you took the course. But compared to leaving a job and maybe just trying to find another job, it's way easier to make a change in real estate. Because as a real estate agent, and this is a reason, because I love talking to new agents and asking them, why is it that you're getting a real estate license? What is it that you're wanting to do with this? And one of the top things that we hear is people are looking for control, freedom, independence, and they're sick and tired of being at a job that keeps them in a certain space when they know they could quickly outgrow that space. And so real estate, it offers for a lot more control, not just in the opportunity that exists for the income potential that you could make, but just in how it is that you want to structure your business. You're not a morning person, you don't need to be. You're working full-time, you can make money part-time in real estate. You only want to work with luxury properties? Sure. You could set up this business however it is that you want. You only want to target investors? You could do that too. There's a lot of different ways you could structure your real estate business. But if you don't have that clear intention and vision, it's going to be hard for everyone to stay on the same page and go focus towards that same direction. So look, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to be talking more about building a winning real estate team. So stick with us. My name is John Christopher. You're watching State of Real Estate. Are you studying for your Florida real estate exam? If you are, you need to check out our Pass First Try strategy. You're going to love this. It's 4 steps that we break down the process to study for your Florida real estate exam. So you're set up to pass your Florida real estate exam because that's what you're studying for, right? To pass your exam. It's 4 steps. Number 1, you learn the information. You've got to learn this to be able to pass the exam, but it doesn't stop at learning. Step 2, you've got to reinforce the basic, simple, key concepts. As you learn this information, keep reviewing the simple things. You don't need to know everything, but you got to review these basic key concepts. Step 3, you've got to test your knowledge. The exam's going to test your knowledge, so if you don't test your knowledge in advance, you won't find out if you know what you think you know until you take the exam. And then step 4 is be confident and prepared, because even if you know this material, you need to be confident that you know the material. Check out the full strategy at passfirsttry.com. That's passfirsttry.com. State of real estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate. And welcome back to this week's episode of State of Real Estate. My name is John Carissimo. And what we're talking about this week is building a winning real estate team. And probably one of the most important things about a winning real estate team is first becoming a winner yourself. You know, if we're using that word winning, you want a winning team, a team of winners. Well, they're not going to be led by, for lack of a better term, a loser. Somebody who is not a winner. So what is it that you've done to win on a personal level, to help others, to whether that be your clients, whether that be others getting started in real estate, or what is it that you've done that makes you somebody that people will gravitate towards? So that way, when you have your shared vision, these people gravitating towards you that share your beliefs, and if they gravitate towards you, they probably do share your beliefs, and they potentially will share your vision as well. And these are going to be great opportunities for usually both parties involved if you can structure it that way. And that's usually the way it is that you have to set something like this up, because compared to other careers, it's definitely easier to make a change in real estate than it would be at a lot of other jobs. But that's because, again, this really isn't so much a job, more so as a business. Now, with a real estate team, so you have your team leader, potentially leaders, and whenever there's multiple people that could be ultimately at the top here, you'll definitely want to make sure you have clear express agreement. So if there's going to not be just this clear hierarchy where this one person is the ultimate final end all be all, if there's multiple people, there needs to be a clear understanding between those team leaders of what that shared vision is. So that way it doesn't become a matter of opinion of what the one or the other wants to do, but ultimately which one is going to be the best to help us accomplish that shared vision. But in addition to the team leader, how is it that you just start by structuring? So like I said, maybe some sort of assistant that you're starting out with. And this assistant, your direct assistant that's there to help you do a lot of the tedious work that's time consuming, that will keep you away from meeting with more people, to talking to more clients, to selling more real estate. Somebody that's going to help make your job easier, and ultimately, it's best when they could fill in the gaps for, again, what those things are that are your shortcomings. Maybe you're not a detail person. A lot of people that are very effective salespeople are not always the best with details. And so that's where, again, it could greatly benefit from having an assistant. But maybe you are a very detailed-oriented person, so maybe you don't need necessarily an assistant to help with the details, but maybe you need an assistant to help with lead generation. And that might be something where you could maybe structure it with working with other agents. And so this is a term that used a lot when you want to have someone that's basically there to generate leads. So let's say you're really good at doing real estate, but you're not the best at generating leads. Now, this might just start with you advertising in some sort of platform like Zillow or Realtor.com, or maybe you're buying Google ads or Facebook ads, or all these different places you could spend money to get potential leads. But what's really important is making sure that you're converting these leads, and that's what your inside sales agent position is designed to do. This is somebody who is there to ultimately make sure these leads coming in are being triaged, are being qualified, and ultimately the red carpet being rolled out so these new potential leads feel welcomed into your environment. And ultimately, they're going to be really good at qualifying and understanding. And here's the big thing, because what's next? What comes next? We might know there might be a business need. Oh, you need to sell your house? Great. Oh, you need to sell it soon. Okay. What should we be doing? Setting an appointment. Sometimes these people get names just like appointment setters. But if you're considering them just an appointment setter, if that's all it is that they do, they're not going to get a lot of appointments. Because these people need to be sold on what it is that you do, how it is that you do it, what your process looks like. Otherwise, they're not going to be sold on you. And if they're not sold on you, you're not going to end up with loyalty among your clients, which is not a sustainable way to practice real estate. You can still make money doing that, but there's a lot of money that you're leaving on the table by providing a subpar experience. So you want this person rolling out the red carpet, and that's again going to help you set more appointments as well. Because when these people feel warm, welcome, and comfortable, and open, and cared for, and that someone's giving them attention. You know, in a world where every day things are becoming more computerized and more automated, that personalized attention is more and more valuable. So if you've got that to give, that is something that absolutely will help get more appointments set. So that's a little bit about the inside sales agent type of role. There again, like I said, mainly to help you set appointments. But then you might also need people to go on these appointments, and you might be great at that. You might be like a Rain Man when it comes to closing deals and getting things done. But here's a sad reality. There's only one of you, and there's only so much you could do. Something I have to grapple with every single day. So how do you accomplish more if there's only one of you and there's only so many hours in a day? There's only so much you could do. There's only so efficient that you could be. Well, it's only so efficient that you alone can be, but with the help of others, you could become infinitely efficient. It's just a matter of, again, putting these pieces of the puzzle together in a way that it's a win-win for everyone. A win for you, of course, because why are you doing this other than to help make more money, build more efficiency, help more people? The money's a great way to keep score of that, of how many people it is that you're helping, how much it is that you're helping them. Because the more it is that you're helping them, the more it is they're going to be willing to pay you for that help. When you present your value in a way that overshadows the cost that you charge, whatever that cost may be, that's going to leave you with more satisfied clients rather than just trying to do the bare minimum amount of work to get by because you're just charging a bare minimum amount of money. So getting back to, there's only so many things you could do. So whether you're good at appointments or not, if you're good at them, great. You could start out doing a lot of those until you're too busy and you got too many appointments, because you can't be in two places at once. You can't be in two different appointments at once. So you might need some listing agents, and buying agents, buyer's agents. Now again, this typically is going to come farther along, because before you're usually going to be ready to just start working with other agents, you need somebody to just help get your own deals straight and stay on top of, again, a lot of the, whether it's deadlines, and again, to a certain degree, there's transaction coordination services, but an assistant is there to be a little bit more next level, a little bit more customized to the needs specifically of your business, not just of an individual transaction. And then again, for help setting more appointments, if you don't have enough appointments yet, inside sales agents. But maybe you've already got more appointments than you know what to deal with, and that's where maybe, again, you're just going right into bringing on an agent to specialize in just listings or specialize in just buyers, or maybe being able to work with both buyers and sellers. You could structure this however it is that you want, but when you need more leads, that's where you want to think about the role of an inside sales agent. And this is the person, the people, if they are ultimately building a larger team of this here, that are there to keep these people busy. And what's ultimately going to happen is you're going to get more disconnected from the actual day-to-day of your real estate business as you build this into a larger team, because at some point then you probably have listing agents and buyers agents handling all of your sellers and buyers, and your inside sales agents setting appointments. And maybe you don't just have one assistant, maybe you've got your own direct assistant, but then on top of that you have other support staff that's there to make sure all these deals are getting done, checking over the contracts. Maybe you employ your own transaction coordinator rather than just using some sort of transaction coordination service. So as you scale your team further, you could fill this out as detailed as you need to be and make these roles even more specific. Because when someone could focus on a more specific tasks, they could usually be more effective at it. And then what you're doing there is creating a lot of opportunities, a lot of room for advancement. And again, this is really where this absolutely is something that is a business, because if you've got it set where you've got listing agents and buyer's agents that are out there handling all of your leads, and you've got your inside sales agents setting the appointments and your assistant making sure that you're doing a good job keeping this all together, you absolutely have time to take a vacation, to go on trips, to do whatever. So for those of you that are ultimately looking for real estate as a source of freedom, as a source of being able to buy back your time, because that's what you've got to do. You got to buy back your time. Can't just take it back, because we need money. And if you're an employee or you don't have a whole team of people helping you, all you have that you're able to do is trading your time for money. There's a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, that talks more about that. But if you want to be able to build something bigger where you don't necessarily have to trade your time for money, that you could make investments today that pay you tomorrow, that's what a business is. And this also is a great way to get into investing in real estate. We're not even talking about investing in real estate here. But if that's ultimately what you want to do, then you could be focused more on, again, not just running your team, but then maybe managing your investments. And that way, again, you're not having to do just the day-to-day appointments, because there's only so many appointments this person could do and only so many appointments that this person could do. So maybe it's not even just that you have 2 agents. You might have a team of 10 agents that are out there working with buyers, working with sellers, working the leads that your inside sales agent is setting the appointments for. But getting back to today's topic, and probably the most important piece of this puzzle, is getting this going in the first place. Getting back to whoever's starting this team, whoever's founding this team, to take that initiative, to first become a winner themselves, and then establish a shared vision that provides opportunities that allow other people to get behind that shared vision and ultimately prosper themselves. Because if people aren't able to prosper, aren't able to work towards opportunities and work towards being able to prosper, that's where people get burnt out. That's where people aren't able to be as effective just because they're not as motivated or not as inspired. So you want your role as that leader is be able to constantly create new opportunities. Now, if that's not something that sounds exciting to you, you don't have to build a real estate team. There's a lot of real estate agents that are very effective, and maybe you just need an assistant. Maybe you're not trying to build this big mega real estate team that sells millions of dollars of real estate a year and potentially billions of dollars of real estate. Maybe you just want to, again, make a certain amount of money, have a little bit of time for time off, and the equation that you put together to get to that can look completely different than this here. But these are a lot of the standard types of roles and positions. And again, if you're just getting started to build something bigger than just the people and the vendors that you're working with, start off with an assistant. They can, again, help keep you organized, help keep you on track, help keep you focused, could help keep on top of things. Look into things that you might not necessarily have time to do some research on, and they could kind of find some stuff out for you and see if it's worthwhile that you're investing in some new CRM software, some new website, or some new lead generation platform, or whatever some sales pitch might be trying to sell you on. It could be something that could benefit your business, but that goes back to your shared vision, because if you don't have a shared vision, you won't be able to tell whether or not that salesperson, that vendor, that whoever it is that's trying to sell you stuff is going to fit into your vision for success. So you've got to figure out that shared vision. If you're brand new to real estate, maybe you've got your real estate license already, have you taken post-licensing? Post-licensing is required as soon as you have your real estate license before your first renewal. So you have some time to take it. You can take it all the way up until your first renewal. However, you don't want to wait. You might be able to wait and not lose your real estate license, but you're going to lose a lot of opportunities by not knowing how to appropriately capitalize on them, by not having a good, strong foundation that's taught in that post-licensing class. Your pre-licensing, it teaches you a bunch of laws and rules, which if you just got to take exams for a living on laws and rules, you'll make a killing if you study this information. But that's not what real estate is about. You're not taking exams out there once you get your real estate license. You're out there trying to sell houses. And when I say try to sell houses, you're not. You're trying to close deals. And what that means is you're helping people make sense of decisions. Because people are already going to be in love with the property. We're just there to help them understand why. To help them understand whether or not this is a good investment. To help them understand whether or not this is going to be the right move for them. Maybe it's not. And the good news is we've got plenty of other properties we could help them buy. Any of the properties that are available in the MLS, the way real estate works, if it's in the MLS, there's a pre-negotiated commission for you, even if that listing didn't even come from your office. So there's a lot of opportunities out there. Everyone needs a place to live. Some of those people also need a place to work, where they're the ones actually securing buying the places to work. They might need warehouses, farmland, all these different things. There's even businesses, business opportunity brokerages. You need a real estate license for that. So if you're looking to go down any of those roads, maybe you don't have your real estate license yet, call us, whatever questions you have. We've got a ton of info on our website. You can check that out as well at tampaschool.com. But I know that could be information overload sometimes. So give us a call, 813-333-2676. We have advisors standing by that can answer any questions it is that you have to help you better understand what opportunities are out there in real estate, how much money maybe you could potentially make, can you do this part-time, can you do this full-time. We've got a ton of videos on this stuff here, but this is what we do for a living. This is what we're professionals at, is helping people start real estate careers. And we're really good guides at helping you get directed into that right information. So we can help you get further research and get, again, this real estate career going. So whatever questions it is that you have, 813-333-2676. Again, advisors are standing by to answer whatever questions you have, assist you in any way they can. You can also check us out online at tampaschool.com. If you're studying for your state exam, definitely make sure you check out PassFirstTry.com. PassFirstTry.com is our recommended strategy of study tools to pass your class and state exams on the first try. So I absolutely recommend you check that out if you have not passed your exam yet. Or better yet, we have a package we call our Complete Jumpstart, which includes that post-licensing course, which, like I said, that's what covers your real-world information about real estate. So to find out more about all this stuff, call us 813-333-2676. That's about all the time we have for today. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you liked today's episode, make sure you hit that thumbs up button so we know which topics to do more on, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any of the information that we deliver every single week. It's all the time we've got for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.
The most powerful tool to study for your real estate exam is the Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate. We've used our years of experience in preparing students for the Florida real estate exam to bring you the most powerful exam study tool available. In the Question Simulator, you'll be able to go directly to a particular unit so you can focus on the sections where you need the most practice. We have also included the percentages of each unit so you know which units are the most important for your real estate exam. Every question will immediately give you detailed feedback, which is almost always more important than the question or the answer themselves. After completing all the questions in a particular unit, you can go through question by question and review any that you've gotten wrong. You could also print out a report at the end of each quiz. The Question Simulator from Tampa School of Real Estate is 100% mobile compatible, so you can practice with test questions anywhere you have your phone with you. Enroll now at questionsimulator.com and get ready to pass your exam.
State of Real Estate. Every Friday at 12 noon Eastern Time. Grow your real estate business. You're watching State of Real Estate.